this clip from 2014.
Today we're going to announce that under certain circumstances, liquid water has been found on Mars.
Like what circumstances? That it's wet? Not frozen? That it's there? This was lip service. Don't be the fool's fool. They knew long before that about the water. You see, here's what's going on Mars. There was a genocide that occurred tens of thousands of years ago. It was nuclear in origin, or as JFK and George W. would say, nuclear. I strongly surmise that it was a war. NASA is sending probes there to investigate, to gather data regarding this annihilated civilization. They are using my money and yours if you're an American, and they are lying about it. Now, this is wrong in every sense, and I have every right to complain about it. Now, recently, rover Curiosity found something shiny on Mars. Really? I need you to understand just how sickening this charade truly is. Tell you what, I've got some real news for you. On May 26, 2016, the Curiosity rover's navigational camera, or NavCam, took this image. NavCam images are in grayscale and are in relatively low resolution. So you would think that NASA's image doctors don't necessarily spend as much time scrubbing these images as they would, say, a high-resolution mast-cam image. There is flowing water in this image. A dam and a spillway. Having trouble seeing it? Hey, that's okay. Let's apply some Jimmy Roberts magic. I think anyone with a lick of sense can see that water behind a dam. The large whiter area is churning water, just like you see here on Earth on the outlet side of a spillway. Don't let this area at the bottom fool you. There's a long drop down to all that action. So let's just blur what is near so to help with depth of field. Operational structures appear to be intact. They didn't expect us to see this. And later, I'll be showing you where these structures are removed in other mast cam images. Look at all of this in the back. And when you go back and look at the original grayscale image, you'll realize this was there the entire time. And all of this? Well, remember, Mars was hit with something really bad. So this hill is still in disarray. But it's not just a hill. The Curiosity rover has been following a waterway for about 18 miles or 12 kilometers, pretty much the whole journey. And these structures are all along them, off and on. Now, this could be part of a levee system. They are not dirt mounds. There appears to be dirt involved, but they are highly metallic, and NASA is constantly covering this up. You need to understand this. What's going on those big hills in the background? Now, this water is being aerated. That's right, I said it because it's true. Mars has a breathable atmosphere. And yes, I am fully aware of what NASA says. I also know that they're lying about it. Here's another image taken on the same day by the same NavCam. a slightly different angle and further away, so we have even less definition. One advantage though is we can see a bit further to our right in the direction the released water flows from the spillway. Now, please take notice of the odd formation in the back. We will see it again here in a bit. So let's stay with the nav cam and look at what it captured as it moved to the left. It's barely in the frame, but there it is again. The dammed up water. So this levee, we'll call it for now, looks to be pretty steep. And I say if those tracks aren't just there to throw us off. Because how did the wheels go underneath that piece of metal protruding from the surface? Most everything you see laying around or protruding is either metal or something other than Martian dirt and rocks. Here's another image where that same piece is evident. Look at those tracks. Seriously? Did they really try to send the rover up there? Seems pretty chancy, unless you've got a team available to bail you out when needed. A little further along, and well, yes, objects like this should stand alone as very strong visual evidence. But it's the big picture I want you to see. Suddenly, this isn't so much of a levee as it is a gorge. See the space in between? The water enters and dams up down there before passing through that spillway. If you can't see past the two-dimensional aspect, maybe this will help. There is a network of piping up there, and water is spraying from it and then running down into the body that is dammed up. Now, highlighted in blue is this piping system that is releasing water. Some of the dark areas are shadows, but not all. A little contrast, and now I believe this water level is evident. So, what was the high definition mast cam doing on this day? It was looking at things, like that rectangle sticking out of the ground. Did the mast cam ever get any shots of the dam and spillway system? Now here's our navcam image from Martian day 1352. And from day 1351, voila, we have a mast cam image. And even though you can see the dammed up lake area and the basic shape of the levee, a lot has changed here. What? Was our eyes tricking us in the truer, more raw navcam image? No. What has happened is NASA has hidden and changed the detail in this image because the mast cam images are high definition and in living color. Look at this side by side. You can see how areas are smudged over, and in the case of points B, turned into a rock. And look at C. They completely changed that. Stop the video and look at C on the right, where a large structure presides over the water, complete with a shadow. They photoshopped it out on the left image. Now you may ask, but if they hid the spillway, then why didn't they mask out the water? Well, because a few years after this image was released, they very meekly admitted to water. And as time goes by, they'll talk more about water, and eventually nobody will care that they already had it in images long before discovering it. The world in general, especially the United States, has become more accepting and forgiving of lies. Tolerance, tolerance. The modern cry heard around the world, and we're all going to pay for it with our lives if we don't put a stop to it. Everything has its limitations, folks. As for the levee type rising, the only thing raw about it here is the basic outline. I'm telling you that in mass cam images like this, what you are seeing is at least 75% fake. Yes, a Photoshop job. Now, there are many objects left that are obvious and should grab everyone's attention. But what I'm saying is that the tan and brown colored surface between all the objects you see is close to being 100% fake. That entire surface area is photoshopped. I'm not saying there is no soil present here, as I'm sure some has blown in and settled, but this rise, this levee, whatever it is artificial, and it is made at least partially of metallic material. Here, there is concrete-like material sandwiched between a brown and tan Photoshop job. Metal is exposed here. Again here, that is the true metallic surface, and it is not covered in soil, but by Photoshop spray to look like soil.